Counsels, you may now proceed with your assumptions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the key issue here is whether the accused had intent to kill under Section 300 subsection C of the Penal Code. The evidence from SP12, the pathologist is clear. The accused stabbed the deceased in the chest, targeting a vital area with significant force, causing fatal internal bleeding.
The wound was deep and directly targeted major blood vessels. Such force and positions are consistent with an intentional act, not an accident.
But Your Honor, intent is a matter of the mind and it cannot simply be assumed. There is no evidence that my client here, Mr. Zulkifli, has planned or intended to cause death. At most, this is culpable homicide, not amounting to murder under Section 304 of the Penal Code.
But, Your Honor, intent can be inferred from actions. A deliberate strike to a vital organ with a parang speaks volume about intent.
The court finds that the evidence is clear. A stab wound to the chest, delivered with force, indicates an intention to kill. The argument of culpable homicide is rejected.
Your Honor, my client acted in self-defense, where at that time he was threatened by SP17 and the deceased. And he clearly stated that SP17 attacked him first, and the deceased charged at him with a metal bar. So, my client had no choice but to protect himself.
SP17's testimony paints a very different picture. Let SP17 testify.
Your Honor, I was attacked first, and the deceased only approached to help me. He was unarmed. The accused kept attacking even when there was no immediate threat.
But Your Honor, SP17 is trying to protect himself and his friends because our client believes that these two are trying to rob his house and he has been attacked by them. So, we can see here that my client was just act out of fear for his life.
Your Honor, we'd like to call SP11 and SP22 as additional witnesses to corroborate SP17's testimony. SP11, can you describe what you witnessed during the incident?
Your Honor, I saw everything. SP17 was stabbed and then the deceased tried to help SP17 with bare hands. After that, the accused continued to stab the deceased despite him raising his hands in gesture of asking for mercy.
Did you see any weapon in the deceased's hand?
No, Your Honor, he was totally unarmed and showed no sign of aggression.
SP22, can you confirm SP11's testimony?
Yes, Your Honor, I saw same kid. The deceased was trying to de-escalate his situation and was clearly asking for forgiveness. Despite this, the accused continued his attempt without any justification.
So both you and SP11 confirm that the deceased posed no threat to the accused during the stabbing?
That's correct, Your Honor. The defense of self-defense requires an imminent threat. The continuous attack on an unarmed person shows excessive force. The court rejects the self-defense claim.
Your Honor, the stabbing was an accident. The deceased collided with the parang during the altercation. My client never intended to stab him.
If it was an accident, Your Honor, why was the wound so deep and directly targeted at the chest? Accidents don't result in such precision.
I was trying to defend myself. He ran into the parang while I was holding it out.
Please maintain proper decorum in the court. The accused story doesn't add up. A stab wound like this requires force and intent.
The court finds no evidence supporting an accidental stabbing. The nature of the wound suggests deliberate action, not an accident.
Your Honor, the accused initial police report stated that SP17 and the deceased was stealing scrap metal and attacked him with a metal bar. Yet, in court, his testimony has changed significantly.
But Your Honor, my client was under immense stress when he made that report. And I'm sure most of us here can agree with me that confusion and fear can affect memory.
But even stress can explain such contradictions. Furthermore, no metal bar was recovered at the scene.
The inconsistencies between the police report and the accused's testimony raise serious doubts about his credibility. Combined with the lack of physical evidence supporting his claims, the court finds that the accused's version is unreliable. After reviewing the evidence, witness testimonies and arguments from both sides, this court finds the accused guilty of murder under Section 302 and previous hurt under Section 326 of the Penal Code. The prosecution has proven the case beyond a reasonable doubt. The sentences imposed by the trial court are both fair and justified. This court upholds the conviction and the sentences.
Court, rise.
Good evening, viewers. Today we dive into the case of Zulkifli against public prosecutor. a landmark decision with far-reaching implications on homicide law and self-defense claims in Malaysia.
Let's analyze the case's legal significance and its broader impact.
This case reinforces the principles of culpable homicide and murder under the Malaysian Penal Code. The court's interpretation of knowledge as opposed to intent in Section 300 subsection B offers critical guidance for similar cases. It sets a precedent for evaluating ambiguous mental states in future homicide trials. Moreover, Zulkifli's rejection of the self-defense claim based on excessive force could influence future cases where proportionality and necessity are contested. Legal practitioners must now closely assess evidence to substantiate these defenses.
Importantly, this case clarifies the application of Section 300, emphasizing that intention isn't always necessary to prove murder if knowledge of a life-threatening act exists. While no immediate legislative reforms resulted from this decision, Malaysia's Abolition of Mandatory Death Penalty Act 2023 aligns with its broader impact. In 2024, Zulkifli's death sentence was commuted to 35 years, reflecting the judiciary's discretion under the new sentencing framework. This reform signals a progressive shift in Malaysia's approach to serious offences, balancing justice and humanity.
Looking internationally, this case contrasts with jurisdictions like the United States, where stand your ground laws offer broader protections for self-defense. In contrast, Malaysia's focus on proportionality, similar to principles in Indian and Australian law, sets stricter limits. For example, in Versa Singh against State of Punjab, the Indian court examined intent and proportionality, reinforcing the importance of careful judicial analysis. Principles echoed in Zulkifli's case.
Legal scholars, such as Joshua Wu, emphasize the importance of proportionality in self-defense, warning that strict interpretations may deter legitimate claims. Public reactions, however, remain divided. Advocacy groups argue that the case highlights systemic flaws in handling self-defense, calling for reforms to ensure fair treatment.
In conclusion, Zulkifli against public prosecutor underscores the delicate balance between justice and public safety.
While it strengthens legal clarity, the case has sparked debates on fairness and reform, reminding us of the evolving nature of justice. Thank you for joining us.
To conclude, this case is important in shaping Malaysia's legal system, particularly in homicide law, self-defense claim, and the application of penal code. In this case, the judgment clarified mental state for conviction and reject the self-defense claim due to excessive force, setting a precedent for evaluating proportionality in future cases. The case does not radically change the law, but it strengthened principle in homicide law and aligned with the recent reform of Malaysian death penalty, allowing judges discretion in death penalty sentencing. The decision has sparked debate with concern about limiting self-defense claim, but also seen as a necessary step to prevent misuse of law. Overall, the case contributes to discussion of justice, proportionality, and legal reform.